What are your initial thoughts, Mike, after that performance?
Well, I think that, it's this organization's first playoff win in a while. And I don't think anybody expected it to be easy. I think our path has been a difficult one. And I think that game kind of played out and was a little bit of a mini version of our whole year. And, man, the way we've played down the stretch, tons of credit to the defense, right? And, all the way up through, obviously not exactly how we wanted to look in the third quarter. But I thought that, Adams is a hell of a player. I thought that we got him playing in a crowd. He had 9 turnovers. I know he scored some points, but we did a lot of really good things out there. And I thought in the fourth quarter, when it was winning time, we made a lot of really big plays on the defensive end.
You mentioned the third quarter. They came at you hard, as you mentioned. What does it say about your group right now that you responded when it absolutely had to happen?
Yeah, I just think that's playoff basketball. That's elimination type games. You're going to take some punches, and you got to stay in there. And this group has stayed together. I've said since the beginning that when we have our top 8, we feel like we're as good as anybody. And when we put that group out there and we can compete and connect and I just think that's what it looks like. You always want to go and have a 10-point lead, a 14-point lead. It's just not going to be like that when you're trying to, eliminate somebody or end somebody's season. A lot of pride, right? They came out swinging. And then the resiliency for our group to get our feet back under us, to dig in on the defensive end, to dig on the rebounding, and then figure out what we needed to do on the offensive end. And, there's timely big baskets. And there was timely baskets by this guy right here. And I want to shout out DJ's defense. And he made some huge threes for us, but there were some huge steals. His shift, his ability to show a crowd. We did a lot of switching down the stretch and to be up at the level and contest and take guys off the line. So those type plays are winning basketball. And what I saw from DJ and a lot of our group was the fact that they were ready to make winning plays.
And how you talk about the defense, how important was it to have Sunday and Black make some really big contributions at that end of the floor?
Yeah, I think that, we've got a group that, we know kind of how it functions on the offensive end for the most part, right? We kind of know where the ball's going to go and the shots are going to go at times. We've kind of figured that thing out. It might not look perfect. It might, look like we stand around a little bit too much, but we have some dominant players. And we did share the ball. And I want to shout out Trez's 7 assists, no turnovers. And that's what happens when, you double team him. He is a hell of a passer. He sees the floor. He's a willing passer when people do double team him. He found DJ early and got him going on some of those shots. But, yeah, I think that, what Latin Sunday do are there are glue pieces. They're 2 unbelievable people, number one. I love being around both of them. They take the other team's best offensive player night in and night out, and we have the ability to tag team a little bit there, and we also play them together at times, and they just give us a lot of defensive flexibility now that our group's healthy.
Mike, what about Kendrick Davis, particularly down the stretch? Like he was almost unguardable. Can you talk about his maturity the last, say, 6 weeks and how he's contributed to this group in a positive way?
Yeah, well, I think our 6-week run here, since we were here on December 30th, we sat here at 7-11. We got 14 wins now, 6 weeks later, and we're still playing basketball. And I think that there's been a huge improvement from the group, number one, specifically for Kendrick, right? He continues to grow and mature, right, as a point guard, and it's the hardest thing when guys are coming at you and Gorge is bringing them at waves and they're trapping him and they're holding him, and I'm thinking he's getting fouled on every possession because I'm a little bit biased, and even he's an ultra competitor. Now you saw that at the end of the second quarter with 39 seconds. He didn't want to come out of the game. He's kind of yelling at me, and we love that competitiveness because he's got 2, and I just don't want to take the chance that he's going to get a third. Just from a bump or something. And, that's part of the game. And then his offensive down the stretch, being able to get to the right spot, to be able to get the right matchup that we wanted, and then for him to, make shots. I think that sometimes I feel like I've got a dilemma whether I'm running, something for DJ off a pin down or I'm running a post up. And, a lot of times down the stretch you got to run a dribble play where they maybe can't double team it as much. And you want to hold that ball in the middle of the floor and you want to, take the right shot at the right time on the clock. And there's all these things going on. But our group connected. They were all communicating out there. And Kendrick makes some big, big plays down the stretch.
DJ, how much confidence does this team have?
We have a lot. Obviously, end of the season with a 3-game losing streak, but I think we made strides in Perth that shows that when teams go on run, so do we. And obviously we saw it tonight. Sydney goes 30-18 in that third quarter. We come out, we execute our plays, we rebound and we run. And, man, it's a whole different ball game now. So 1 down, 6 more to go.
DJ, Adelaide's the only team in the comp with multiple players in the top 10 for scoring, of whom you're one of them. What's it like being in a team where it's not all on you all the time? You've got so much valuable offensive power.
It's really good. Obviously, when you've got KD being the best point guard in the league, and then you've got Montrez, in my opinion, is the best power forward in the league. Like, it makes your life so much easier that if you want to go trap or if you want to try guard KD, I just sit there, wait for the ball to come to me, and that's how I get my points. So we share the load evenly. But yeah, we're a very tough team to stop when we're connecting.
I would shout out the other guys too. I mean, we've talked about those guys. We've talked about Latin Sunday, but our top 8. Jarrell made a couple of huge baskets down the stretch, right? I rode him for a while out there, and Jason just is our glue guy. He's had a hell of a career. We're going to keep him in business here. We're not going to allow him to retire just yet. So we're going to make him come to practice, and we're going to make him go through the routine, and then I want to shout out Ice too. I stayed with Trez and Rel down the stretch, but Ice was great. He rolls, he puts pressure on the rim, and he defends the rim, and that's why I think our top 8's really good.
3 steals for Isaac.
Yes.
Team high.
Yeah.
So doing it at the defensive end. You're 1-2 against South East Melbourne this season. Where do you think you are better now than you've been against the Phoenix during the season proper?
Yeah, I don't know.
Keep that under wraps.
I just think that, a ton of respect for them and what they've done. They've had a hell of a year, the way they've turned it around, and we've got a ton of respect for their players and their system. We just played down there about a week ago. So this is an interesting game for us and on our journey. We haven't won in Melbourne or in that arena this year. We've had a lot of things happen down there. I think it's the perfect game at the perfect time for our group. I'm excited that we're going to be down there Sunday at 2:30.
Don't fob this off onto your players. I want to ask you about you. You've had a long coaching career. It's your first head coaching gig, and you've won a playoff game, a finals game. What does it mean for Mike Wells to win that game tonight?
I just, to be honest with you, it's fun being a head coach. I'm living a dream, right? That's kind of why I came over here. It just worked out this way, that these guys. But I'm more happy for the organization, number one. Grant back here and his belief in me. It's been 7 years since we've had a playoff finals win. So I hope everybody in Adelaide's happy about that. We're going to do everything we can to win one more so we can have another home game at some point. And, I know DJ wanted to come to Adelaide and, take this team, and we want to take it to different levels, and we're growing. And, Ice and Sunday's been part of this organization for a long time. This is his first finals game and his first finals win. I think there's a lot of really, really cool side stories with our group. And I hope we're not satisfied. I think that we've kind of embraced the hardness of the season, and hopefully we're ready for another test on Sunday.
Anyone on the Zoom? Tristan's. Go, Tristan.
Hey Mike, TP here. The Kings' defence in the first half particularly, they played a lot of different kinds of tempo. Were there a few learnings out of this one tonight that you can take into the game against South East Melbourne on Sunday?
I think they just play, they probably play a little bit different. I give Gorge a ton of credit. I think we knew that they were going to come out ramped up and both halves they were, right? I give our group a lot of credit for just playing through the early physicality. I thought the refs probably could have called fouls on every possession both ways. They let the game sort of settle in, and you kind of figured out how it was going to be played really soon. I mean, I thought it was quick. It was a very evenly refed game with the amount of physicality that we all had to play through out there. So I just think that's playoff basketball. It's part of it. We got a win under our belt. I mean, I guess we have a playoff win. Southeast is still alive. We're still alive, and we got another game, and we get to kind of go at it again.
Just one more on that point, Mike and DJ. Even DJ, you probably shed some light on this too. In the third quarter, of course, when the Kings came out with that defense in the third term, I mean, you were able to negotiate through it, even though you had 12 points in the 8 minutes. But you were able to put a bit back on them in the last 4 minutes of the game, where you were able to keep them to 3 points. So you saw both ends of the spectrum there by the looks of things.
Yeah, I mean, basketball's a game of runs. They threw their punch in the third quarter, and obviously we kept it close, and then it was just a matter of time before we threw ours, and we did so, and now we get to enjoy this one tonight, and then we'll prepare for Southeast tomorrow.
Thanks, DJ. Thanks, Mike. Good luck Sunday.
Thank you.